What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, after the Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson extensions, I just wanted to recap this awesome offseason for new GM Darren Mougey as well, I believe he actually pulled off highway robbery for us Jets fans this past offseason. But some topics we're going to be discussing. So we're going to go back, look at free agency, talk about their decision to let Aaron Rodgers walk, bring in some wide receivers, bring in Justin Fields. Then also the 2025 NFL Draft. I think it's one of the best draft classes in the NFL this past season. Talk about the contracts and then also talk about the culture that Aaron Glenn, and it's actually his birthday, that he instilled here in New York. But if you guys are fired up for the Jets season, the countdown is on. We are just around the corner from starting. So if you guys are fired up, hit that thumbs up icon. I put today's goal as over 250 likes. So if you guys could help us out, hit that thumbs up icon today. All right, so the Jets offseason started with Aaron Rodgers. And I think the best move the Jets front office made this offseason was cutting Aaron. That whole clip of Rodgers on the McAfee show talking about his conversation with Aaron Glenn. And he pretty much just said, I walked in that building, flew across the country, and Glenn pretty much told me to go F myself right when I walked in there. Said we're going in a different direction. I love that from Aaron Glenn. That is when this new culture of New York Jets started, was in that meeting with Aaron Rodgers behind closed doors. Nobody was watching, no media, but just that conversation Glenn had with Rodgers was awesome. And then, the reactionary move to letting Rodgers walk, which you had to find a quarterback. And, Justin Fields, will he be the franchise guy in New York? Who the hell knows? But I do think just for this season, it will give the Jets offense a complete new feel where last year, it was all about the passing game. Aaron Rodgers, he was calling all the shots. Well, now it's this year. We're relying on the run game, a lot of read options. Pass game will be all through Garrett Wilson and Mason Taylor and the other guys. So I can't wait to see what Justin Fields is going to do. But, speak about the run game, I think a wide receiver you brought in is going to make a big impact. And this is one of the best run-blocking wide receivers in the National Football League. He had a great year with the Detroit Lions back in 2022. He was awesome in the run-blocking department, so I think that was a sneaky good signing by Darren Mougey. And, maybe it's a little biased I have towards this next guy, Tyler Johnson. I'm a massive fan of his, and I've been a massive fan of his since he was playing with the Golden Gophers in Minnesota. This guy's a great possession wide receiver. I feel like he hasn't really had a fair crack at things in the NFL, but don't be shocked if this guy is like the wide receiver 3 in the slot over a guy like Allen Lazard, if Lazard still has drop issues this upcoming season. So just keep your eyes out on Tyler Johnson having a big year. But, I think the most successful and the most promising part of this offseason was the 2025 NFL Draft. And I do want to welcome on producer Dylan for this segment, get his insight on this draft class and, mainly the first 5 picks here. And, Dylan, obviously we were talking about before the draft went down, Armin Membu, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, but I think they made the right decision here going Membu. You got the best offensive lineman, in my opinion, at least in this class, and you're really building into the trenches. So what do you think about the Membu pick going him over a weapon like Tyler Warren?
It was the right pick because if you look at this tight end class, like you had Tyler Warren, you had Colston Loveland, but then we're going to get to round 2 here and they get Mason Taylor.
Yeah.
Like they go ahead and they get 2 big needs and they fill those holes right away with both those picks. And this is going to be the new future of the Jets. We just saw them get Sauce and Garrett Wilson to big deals. This is now the start of the Aaron Glenn, Darren Mougey regime, and it's a great start for them.
Yeah, and plus, like, if they would have taken, like, Tyler Warren in round 1, or, Tyler Warren or, Colston Loveland in round 1, you wouldn't have been able to get that elite offensive tackle in round 2, so I like them. Went all offensive tackle. You had some value in the second round with a guy like Mason Taylor, and, I thought Mason Taylor should have been a first-round pick. I know you got some high expectations for Taylor this season. He should probably get the second most receiving yards in this offense. I don't know how you're feeling about that, Dylan, but
I think when it's all said and done, Mason Taylor could be the leading tight end of this franchise in history.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, if you look at the Jets tight ends as of recently, they've had no one.
No.
Like, the closest guy you could go to back to the 2010s era, you had, like, a Dustin Keller. I mean, it's been that long since the Jets have had to solidify the tight end position, and now they're finally focusing on it. And I think that's a big need, especially when you have a new quarterback, giving him a security blanket.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Conklin was all right for a couple of years, but now you actually have a legit franchise guy. But in round 3, one of my favorite picks here, A.Z. Thomas. Now, You do have some current concerns with him as he is a press man corner, ran a slower 40-yard dash, so that combination is a little tough to find in the NFL, but this guy's got great size, and, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the signing of Brandon Stevens in free agency. That was probably the one move Mougey made where I was kind of looking at a little side-eyed here, but, I mean, Dylan, I know you think AZ's got a chance to start here. Maybe not week one, but at some point during the season.
Yeah, I could definitely see him getting in there, and I think it's because Aaron Glenn is going to trust in his young guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like age is really a difference maker in terms of how Aaron Glenn's going to make a decision. Like, if he goes with a veteran or with a rookie, he's going to go with the best player and put him out there.
Yeah.
So if AZ Thomas is performing better than Brandon Stevens, I would not be surprised if they benched Brandon Stevens and put AZ Thomas in there.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously you're going to have Michael Carter and Sauce Gardner at the other two spots, but that second cornerback battle should be interesting. Maybe it'll heat up during training camp, especially if AZ Thomas has a good preseason and such. But in round 4, you got the speedster. Now, the Jets definitely reached on this pick, but clearly they had a high draft grade on Arian Smith, burner over the top. And, I'm sure Tanner Engstrad and, Aaron Glenn coming from Detroit, they're like, hey, maybe this could be our Jamison Williams. Now, obviously, J-Mo was a better prospect coming out of college, but they do similar things. And, obviously this may mean Malachi Corley may have gotten his role taken from him, but I love the Arian Smith pick here. Remember, he had all that hype during rookie minicamp. Was it on the field too much for minicamp when it was going on? But I expect him to be a preseason hero for the Jets.
And you saw last year how the Jets were so high on Corley. This Jets staff was so high on Arian Smith. They brought him for a 30 visit. And we were thinking about, okay, maybe they might go and get out and try to get this guy.
Yeah.
They went ahead and did that, and now they have another speedster to complement Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, and I think that having a speedster next to Garrett Wilson will be huge. And plus you have two good possession receivers, honestly three good, and Lazard, Reynolds, and Tyler Johnson. So like that other archetype of receiver you have in there. But this is another guy I'm super excited about. Malachi Moore, badass name at the safety position as well. But Tony Adams, kind of a similar situation here with the cornerback position, Dylan, where it's like you got Brandon Stevens, the more proven veteran, but then you got a guy right on his heels in Malachi Moore. I know you're a big fan of his as well.
Yeah, because this Jets safety room, I think, is the weakest part of their team right now, and It really has been. I mean, you got Andre Sisco in free agency, which was a good pickup, but if you look at the depth in this safety room, I mean, Malachi Moore, I think he has one of the better chances to come in right away and make an impact.
Yeah, and plus he's extremely versatile too. These defensive wizards, like, they love to put guys in different spots, free safety, strong safety. I could even see him hopping in the slot for a couple of plays, maybe play some makeshift linebacker. But, overall, this draft class, like, you got great values in round 1 and 2. Membo and Mason Taylor. And then you go AZ Thomas, Arian Smith, Malachi Moore, picks for, honestly, all of these are position of needs and also some BPA. Like, I think we could be looking back and be like, man, the Jets got 5 starters in a singular draft class, which, never really happens. But we'll ask you guys this. Grade the Jets 2025 draft class for me. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F. Obviously, these guys got to go out there and prove it. But I think just on paper, I'm going to probably give this an A-. I think it was one of the best draft classes this past season in the NFL. So you guys grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F. Now, some other major moves here, and I know it's had Jets fans all happy. They inked up Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, and we'll welcome back here producer Dylan to talk about these. But, the Garrett Wilson deal, 4 for $130. I think it's ludicrous, people saying this is an overpay. I don't know how you feel about the money and the guaranteed money on this deal.
If anything, I thought it was going to be more. I mean, Garrett Wilson's going to be one of the best receivers in years to come.
Yeah.
Like, he could be even in the conversation soon with, like, a Chase or a Jefferson. He's that good of a player.
100%.
If you've seen some of his catches, I mean, he might have some of the best hands in the league as well.
I bet you just go highlight tape for highlight tape. Like, he is up there with Jefferson and Chase. And obviously he has had some shaky stability at the quarterback position. So hopefully now with this guy, Justin Fields, and, plus Dylan, we were talking about it, like, the fall off, even though I do like the complimentary receivers the Jets have at that wide receiver 2 spot, be more by committee. But I'd just say Garrett Wilson was unhappy heading into the season. That would be pretty concerning. So I like that they got him inked up. And then also Sauce Gardner yesterday. was a little disappointed Jets just didn't announce these back-to-back. I think that would have been pretty cool. But he is the highest-paid corner in NFL history, getting 4 for 120.4. Dylan, you got any thoughts on this?
Very deserved. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been ranked in PFF, even though if we sometimes don't believe those statistics. I mean, they don't lie. And he's been ranked in like the top of that since he's come into the league, really.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
his grades are on another level compared to some of these other guys. And if you look at last year, yes, the stats don't stand out as much.
Yeah.
But now you bring in a guy like Aaron Glenn. I mean, this is a guy that played for the Jets. I just think he's going to instill that into Sauce. And look, big years coming up for both of these guys.
100%. And especially like Sauce, he's got to be saying, I'm going to be the undisputed top corner in the league. And plus, both these guys, without them having a franchise quarterback, like, these are probably the 2 most popular jerseys you'll see in MetLife this season, the number 1 and number 5. So, listen, I'm a big fan of both these deals. I know you're paying a lot of money, but both these guys are blue chip players, man. And, lastly, we wrap today's show up with this. The best move the Jets made this offseason was hiring Aaron Glenn. Like, this was a home run hire because you also got to consider it's not like the Jets were that enticing of a job at the time. Coming off a down year, you had the question marks with Aaron Rodgers, and I like that Aaron Glenn was like, even though nobody else may want this job, I want this job. I want to be the face of, the New York Jets' new culture, and, just everything he has talked about. We have seen it already come to fruition because a lot of these coaches, you can have the coach speak, you can, just kind of talk out of your ass a little bit, but we have really seen it, on the practice field, and it's actually Aaron Glenn's birthday. Turning 53 today. He feels so much younger than 53 with just the energy he has. This is a guy that I will be rooting for a very long time, hopefully, for the New York Jets. I just love everything he's made of. He's a true football guy at his core. So if you guys want to wish him a happy birthday, give me those HBDs down below. And also make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. We'll have more videos for you guys around the New York Jets this entire offseason. So we'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.